Hello and welcome to another episode from the Water's Edge. Today you catch up with us on another sea fishing session, and today we've actually ventured off patch. We've left our home county in Norfolk and we've ventured up to Lincolnshire, and today we're actually fishing one of their beaches. Now, as you can probably see by the surroundings around me, it's a little bit sort of different from what we're used to in Norfolk. It's a very shallow sort of sandy surf beach, I guess. Now, I actually came up here just last week with a good friend of mine, Justin Grapes, who's back with us again today, and we enjoyed some really good Smoothound fishing. Now, unfortunately last week Steve couldn't make it, so we didn't have the camera with us, but we had a really good day's sport. I don't know how many hounds we had between us, but some nice fish up to about £8. So hopefully today that's what we're going to try and put on camera for you. The weather, as you can see, isn't great. We've got a real nasty drizzle, I guess, a really grey day, but the main thing is the conditions are good. We've got a nice sized tide, we've got a flat calm sea, which is what the hounds tend to like, and we've got a really light westerly wind, so things are looking good. Now hopefully we aim to pick up the fish, or when they come through, like last time, was pretty much about an hour before low water, so that's what we're hoping for today. We're about 2 hours away from that point at the moment, so I'm not blasting through all the crab baits now on what traditionally could be a quiet time. All I've done so far is I've got both rods out there, but I've just baited them up with a little bit of mackerel and squid, as you can probably see here. Now all I've done with that is just fillet the mackerel off, a little sort of chunk or fillet, threaded that onto the hook, and then just whipped a little bit of this baby squid on the outside of it. We couldn't get any large squid today, so I'm just going with sort of fishy baits for now, because there is a chance, and I have heard that in this sort of quiet period when the hounds aren't running through, there is a chance of a thornback or two, so we thought we'd hedge our bets a little bit. But as soon as we get to that sort of magical hound time, we will of course be getting some of these on. A good old peeler crab, and I say that will just be pretty much on low water we're aiming for. That's the plan anyway. I hope this rain will ease off. That'll be nice. It'll make everything a little bit easier, certainly filming wise. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another mackerel and squid bait ready. We'll get it out there, and then we'll see what unfolds. I'm going to carry on watching these tips, and then perhaps when we check back in a little while, unless we get any fish, we'll get a crab bait ready, and hopefully see if we can't pinch a hound or two. So we'll catch up in a minute. Well, we're getting to that sort of time now. There's been a few hounds caught up and down the beach already. A guy just to my right there, he's had a few. Justin's now had one. So I took the fish baits off, and I'm now straight on with a crab. It's now coming up to that sort of time, so we're going to fish hard now for the next sort of couple of hours. Luckily, that persistent sort of miserable drizzly rain has stopped. I've managed to take my smock off, because believe it or not, we're now obviously in June and it's actually quite mild, so hopefully if that rain stays away, that'll be even better. But I'll just quickly show you the rig as well. There's nothing complicated about it, that's why I'm not going to go into a massive amount of detail. Yellow top 5-ounce impact lead, not a massive tide run here, very shallow water. Pulley pennel rig, rigged up like normal, and I'm just going to prepare a crab. I've just peeled him up there, and we'll just snip him down the middle, put him on the needle and just whip him up. But yes, certainly a very interesting bit of beach. The tide seems to go out miles. You've probably noticed from the the landscape in the background, we actually have to keep moving down with the tide because it goes out, God, distance wise I don't know, but you can probably see it behind me there, and we're not even quite at the bottom yet, so we're going to keep following it down. The same when it comes back in, we'll be racing back up with it, keep moving and moving. It's just easier if you're by the water's edge to fish a little bit more effectively rather than having to walk massive distances to your rods. But we'll just get this crab whipped up. I'm quite eager to keep one eye on the rod tips as well, because they certainly do pull when you get them. There's no messing about, there's no little tappy bite, it's just wham, and they hit it and they're gone. So just thread this crab up, and we'll always keep a spare rig ready today because they do tend to push through in packs, so we just want to be ready for them when they run through. But another thing as well, I mentioned it to Justin last time, is the amount of food on this beach is unbelievable. You know why the fish are here and why they run through, you know. He found a couple of little crabs, there's razorfish shells everywhere, there's bits of smashed up crabs, there's lugworm casts. It's obviously a really healthy sort of ecosystem, and you know, I'm guessing that's why the fish are out there and why they run through here. But we'll just get that bait ready, give you a little look. Just a neat little compact, it's only a small crab, that one, that's why the hooks are quite close together, but they haven't got massive mouths, have the Smoothounds, so you don't need to go crazy. Sometimes a neat little half will be just as good as a massive bait. But that's rigged up ready to go, so I'm going to get it hung on the tripod. There's quite a few people turned up now as well, sort of either side of us all around, so it's definitely coming to that bite time. So I'm really hopeful it'll just be a matter of time before we can check back in with a nice fish or two. Well, we just got the first bite of the session, and definitely something on here. It didn't really hammer away, it was just a real proper old-fashioned slack liner, I guess. The tide has turned now and it's now starting to come in, so we'll move back a little bit. There's been a few caught up and down the beach already. The guy up there had a really nice fish, just a few inches over 16 pounds, so that'd be lovely to get one that sort of size on camera. But I think this one coming in here is nowhere near that, but hopefully it might be the first hound of the session anyway. He's coming in nice, he's kicking well, but often you find the small fish, they really do sort of scrap about. But when we were down here last time, you know, you were fishing away and you'd get nothing, then all of a sudden there'd be a run of fish come through and you quite easily get one on each rod. But Justin's now going down the surf to get it for me, so hopefully we'll be able to show him to you in a second. Starring. Cheers, Justin. We'll give you a little look at him. Can I just pass you that rod, mate? Is that alright? No worries. Well done, bud. Thanks, mate. Well, it's the first one for me. Slippery little fella, but it's yeah, nice little starry hound. Anyway, you get a lot of them this sort of stamp. Hit the beaches around our part of the county as well in Norfolk, but that's a typical sort of size, I guess. I don't know what he is, but yeah, lovely fish, really pretty markings on them, as you can see. You get the common and you get the starry, but that's it's a good start anyway. So I think probably if there's a few like this about, it's best to get another bait sorted and get right back out there, because I'm pretty sure another one, and hopefully a bigger one, won't be too far behind. Well, I think we might have something more substantial on here, and that is crazy. As I was saying about, you'll often get more than one. This is ridiculous. I literally put that fish back, came up, and this one has been nodding away, and I'm pretty sure this is definitely a better fish. He's already gone a little way down tide. He may... don't know, he might have just come off. I think we've just lost him. There's a bit of weed on the line, and we have, which is a real shame. I think he may have initially hit it earlier while we were putting that one back, because when I came back up, the line was, that was a long way down the beach, but never mind. This is what I'm saying, the little bit of weed about, it's nothing major, but it's just a little bit of a nuisance. But he was a nice fish, I think, but never mind. And actually I might be able to get that rod sorted this time, because I haven't actually got one in the water at the moment. But hopefully they've now switched on, so we'll get another bait ready.
Yes, mate, yeah.
Yeah, clicking well.
Feels alright.
I did see you run over and hit it, mate.
Had a bit of a sprint to the rod, yeah. Yeah.
They do go, don't they, if you've not got your eye on them. If they don't slack line you, they'll certainly
That's why I like
hit it hard.
I like putting them on a clutch just in case, because I've had a couple today where they've just peeled line off straight from the off, so.
It's a little bit of weed picked up now as well, isn't there?
It has, yeah. I was hoping that weren't going to affect things too much, but
not. There's plenty of colour in the water close in. It's a bit clearer further out, but whether that's got something to do with it. But it's just coming up now. Feel a nice fish?
Yeah,
feel alright?
It's starting to kick right. Yep.
Yeah, just see it right there, look. Yeah, you always come clear in the water. A nice one, mate. Another little starry. It's just a nice one. Little wrapped up in the line. He is, mate. It's a nice fish. I don't know if you can just nick that hook out there. Well, we'll just hold him up and show him on camera there. Angry little things, aren't they?
They're wiry, aren't they?
They're so 100% pure muscle. But they're such pretty fish. I love the starries with them white markings on and that. They are cracking fish. And pound for pound, they've got to be one of the hardest fighting sea fish, you know, that we can catch round our
As soon as they get in the surf,
shores,
they let you know they're on.
They do, don't they? They do. Ah, that's lovely. That's lovely. Do you want to put them back for you?
Stick them back, mate.
Cool. Alright, mate, get another bait ready. Well, the tide's well and truly coming in now, and we're struggling a little bit with the weed, so we're not fishing as hard as we perhaps were early. You'll see it on there. There's a fair bit of it, so we're just cutting down the casting distances a little bit, because you know it's obviously a well-known fact: the more line you've got in the water, the more chance you have of picking weed up. So keep the tips relatively high, and just fishing is pretty close in, to be honest with you. There seems to be the story all along the beach, anglers winding in plenty of it, so it's a little bit tough. It's not been as good as last time. There's been a few fish caught, but they certainly haven't invaded the beaches like they did before. But there's still time. I'm hopeful that perhaps this weed will die off as the tide comes up further. It's probably at its strongest now, you see, so when it eases there'll probably be less of it around, which will be nice. I mean, we can start fishing again, and after the conditions we had earlier, it's turned out glorious now. The sun is shining and it's a bit more like summer, which, as I said earlier, it really should be, considering, you know, we're in June. But I just pulled that all off the rig. You see, you get the odd bit round the hook point and that as well, but the baits are coming back untouched, so you know they're fishing okay. But it's just sort of a one rod job at the moment, because I don't want to use a load of bait up in you know, what's probably going to be a quietish, tough time. But we just thought we'd give you a little update, let you know what's going on. And so I'm still confident, hopefully you might be able to put another 1 or 2 on camera for you, but I'm just going to slip another bait on here and we'll get it out there and see what happens. Well, we're back at the car now after what's been, it's not been a total disaster, but it's been a bit of a hard session today. I mean, we haven't picked up as many fish as we'd have liked, really. I mean, last week we were down here and we had a really good session, you know, caught some nice fish, but today it's just been a bit of a struggle. I don't know why, it's just one of them. We had a little flurry in the middle where we thought we were going to get a few, but they just didn't turn up today, mate, did they? No. But that's, you know, that's one of them things, whether it's the curse of the camera, I don't know, but that's fishing at the end of the day. But as always, thanks for watching, be lucky, and we'll see you again on the next one.